This is the stuff dreams are made of. I'm writer-collector Ryan Condal.
And I'm writer-collector David Mandel, and you're listening to the original movie prop collecting podcast brought to you by Juliens Auction, the big sponsors of the Jim Henson, or I guess the big holders of the Jim Henson Company 70-year anniversary auction, November 25th, here in Los Angeles, California. We're going to be talking all about that catalog today on the stuff dreams are made of. I realized I just called myself David, which sometimes I think I normally say Dave Mandel when I say it. I don't know why I said David today. I don't know.
It's a fancy catalog and a fancy fancy
to honor Jim Henson, whose birthday I share. I call myself David today. No, I don't know.
Do you share his birthday?
Yep, September 24th. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I share a birthday with John Huston.
Really? Oh, that's very cool.
Different year.
That's very cool. That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's not bad. Yeah.
When they used to sell those, which I should assume they still do, they sell those birthday cards where they're like, "Here's who shares your birthday." That was always my good one, Jim Henson.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah. How you been?
Since 2 days ago when I saw you last.
5 minutes ago.
Good. It's November in London, although we've had a kind of a delayed fall this year. So it's very pretty. The leaves are still changing colors and falling. And it hasn't quite it's much darker, much earlier in the day now, but it hasn't quite become that oppressive gray, wet, hanging cloud yet. And it's getting very festive because Christmas is coming in London. It really does Christmas very well. So I'm hoping that kind of carries us to the end of the year. And then really you just have to kind of survive January and February, and then things do get markedly better from there. So
fingers crossed. Yes.
Hanging in, Dave. How are you doing?
I'm going to tell people, you know this, I'm going to tell our sort of podcast viewers, I'm okay. We lost our dog Hooper. You know this already. And for anyone following me on social media, he had like a cancer that came out of nowhere and a tumor, I guess, that burst. And it was very sad. He was basically gone before we really even, I mean, we were there when it was the very end, but very sad. So you will not, unfortunately, hear him barking in the background of any of our future podcasts, which I've just been very sad. And
I'm sorry.
We were giving away, my wife was giving away some of like the extra stuff today. Just, I don't know, like I had an extra ramp or something. And it was just like, I want my dog and I want my ramp and, just stupid stuff like that. So that's what's been going on here, which has been less than fun, but such, unfortunately, is life. Anyway, I know you've been through it too. It's been very nice hearing from people who have been through it, which I mean, not that it's good that their dogs died too, but I just mean it has been nice. People have shared very nice stories and whatnot, and that part has been, I guess that's the only good part of sort of a terrible, terrible thing.
Labradors, and we talked about this. The retriever breed as a purebred is just, they have some of them actually are quite, we had a neighbor here who lost their Labrador last year, but he was 16, and like he had 15 and a half like great years, and then just sort of declined at the end. It was like old man, of decline, where it was 17 different things, and then they had to like carry him out to the bathroom, and that's also horrible too, but they had 15 years, and it's just, but the sort of, the cancer draw on these very purebred retrievers is not great, and it's the wild card that you're sort of playing with when you get them as a puppy,
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie. I think probably did not do enough research. Do your research. I think, I don't know, maybe if someone had told me this was going to happen, I'd have picked a different kind of dog. But anyway, Mutts,
Mutts, the sort of diversified gene pool is just, classically, but then you also get like weird sort of personality combinations and other things. But we had a mutt growing up that was like rescued from a shelter that we think was like half racing dog, because she was the fat, she had that like, like the greyhound sort of the scoop on their on their legs. She had that, but the rest of her just kind of looked like just mutt dog. But when she chase something. She caught cats, she caught squirrels, she caught everything, and which got her into trouble because she would catch it and then not know what to do. Got sprayed in the face by a skunk like 3 or 4 times because she would catch them as well. But she lived to almost like 17 years.
I was
It was
lived
insane.
to 200. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, exactly.
just insane. We lost our lab at 10, and she was like still a puppy in many ways until she got sick at the very end. So, yeah.
Well, with that happy note, anything new? Anything new in props?
What's new in props?
Yeah, what's new in props? Yeah.
Yeah, I was. We've been doing a lot of these, so I was like, oh, what do we do tonight? But I actually have something that we had not talked. You and I have talked about it and joked about it offline, but have not talked about on the podcast. And I think it's like simmering out there in the ether, but I don't think I don't think anybody has like come out and confirmed it yet. But it seems like we have from 2 rather, I would just say, great sources that the unaltered original Star Wars trilogy is making a return. And it's early days, so we don't know quite what form it's going to take. Certainly, it's going to be a theatrical release of A New Hope, Star Wars, for the 50th anniversary. Certainly, at the very baseline, we are going to get a theatrical release of the kind of unfucked with original film, and there's been a major restoration going on kind of behind the scenes for quite some time now, apparently.
And you can go on the internet quite easily at this point and find
there have been
basically leaks. Yeah, leaks
or I'm like, I referred to somebody as this. You know how like there's the UFO nuts. By the way, tonight might not be the time because we have to go through a whole podcast, but at some point I have to tell you guys my Tom DeLonge story. Do you know who Tom DeLonge is? The lead guitarist of Blink-182.
Oh, is he the one that's gone? I read an article about him. Yes, I know that. I know of him. Yes.
So yes, I had a run in with him at Comic-Con when I was working on Colony, and when he was like very into this, like the UFO conspiracy things, and we were on a panel together doing something, and then he was like, this guy knows, and like he started talking. He's a fascinating guy, like super brilliant, and you're just staring at him the whole time, like going. And I had this friend that worked on Colony with me, and he was like the world's biggest Blink-182 fan. I was like, dude, you're not gonna believe this, but like I met Tom DeLonge, and like he like wants to get a beer. He's like, no man, no way. And then like we're standing at Petco Park, and Tom DeLonge sees me from the upper deck, and he goes, Ryan, I emailed you. Email me back. And it just started this whole thing and coming down to his disclosure facility and whatever. And like, I think he was obviously onto something because he's got like documentaries and whatever. But he would refer, story for another time. Very interesting. These interesting things that happen to you when you start doing Comic-Cons and running shows and things like that. But he would refer to this as like preparing the public for disclosure. And there's a certain sect of like conspiracy theory where like things get sort of leaked out into the public,
so that there's like a little bit of a sense that it's coming. Is that
just
okay?
so that like all the stuff about the Navy chasing down those weird flying objects and all the the high-ranking military officers sort of acknowledging that there's been stuff from not our reality or not our world that they've chased around out there. The conspiracy theorists would say this is all part of the plan. They start doing this years in advance so that when they do eventually tell you that, yes, we are in contact with extraterrestrials, that the whole world doesn't start going mad, rending their garments, and then burning the world down, which could possibly happen anyway. So what I would say is this is such a long in the coming and long desired thing that the conspiracy theorists in me would say, is this like Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm's version of disclosure, where there are these leaks, but the leaks just keep coming, and there's like more and more still frames every day, and there's actual live video out there.
I don't think you can have like that many people working on something without these sort of leaks, I guess, happening. The only thing I'll throw in here, just it feels
and the stuff
like
looks fantastic. By the way,
it does look incredible. I do feel like, though, in some bizarro way, every time they've ever like, okay, we're putting it out on Blu-ray, or we're putting it out like this, or we're putting it out like that, they always pick like one thing, like where they're like, we're putting it out on Blu-ray, the picture's going to be great, but the audio is going to suck. You know what I mean? Like they always sort of like muck one thing up that where you're just like, ah.
I mean, that Blu-ray thing back in 2004. I think that was the Blu-ray release, right? That was just an FU to the fans. It was like, here, you want this stupid thing? Take a rip of the Laserdisc. We didn't even bother to upscale it. It was such an FU to the fans.
I guess so. I'm just saying, I do
now
continue to
that
worry.
Disney is invested in making literally hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, if you do a theatrical release of the original unaltered trilogy, it's going to be the highest grossing movie this summer. Forget about it. There's nothing else is going to come close to it.
I mean, it will be free money,
yes,
literally
yeah.
for the Disney
and then 6 months down the road, when you release it on a very expensive clamshell box set, where you make everybody buy the stupid special edition again anyway, it will be a further revenue generator.
I'll be very curious if they release all three of the original trilogy like in theaters and then follow it up with like, some kind of crazy
mega release,
like 4K mega box set. And by the way, maybe they'll do all 9 movies. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm just talking about the original 3 in like the 2 forms. When all is said and done, when you add that number up and just kind of go, here's that number, I will be very curious how much of just that number covers what they paid for Lucasfilm in total.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did you see that thing about, they paid Shohei Ohtani whatever his contract was, and they realized that the Dodgers made that in 1 year.
1 year, the $700 million they did it in 1 year.
Yeah, and that I could see a version of the original trilogy just more or less paying for the Lucasfilm purchase.
Yeah, I mean, $4 billion is probably not.
But you know what I mean. But they
yeah.
probably are going to get a lot of millions,
yeah.
many
they'll
millions.
certainly pay for Rise of Skywalker.
Or that new one that they're supposedly not making, or whatever that is, right? Isn't there some like Steven Soderbergh and that whole crazy thing?
The Adam Driver hunt for. Yeah.
All right. Enough of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took an oath to not use this podcast as a platform to besmirch other people's work. So, but I will besmirch the special editions. They're terrible. We've choked on them for 30 years.
We've suffered from them long enough.
Yes,
and it will be nice. It will be nice if nothing else. Like I just saw that the Academy Museum is airing. They're doing a run of all the Star Wars movies, and it doesn't say anything one way or another. I think they're starting in December, and I can only assume once again it will be the special editions. Yeah. And it will be nice just in the future that you just won't have to see them anymore. That like when they decide to play it wherever they decide to play it, it will simply be the original version. So
yeah, or you have it at home and you don't. Like, who cares? I don't need to go out and subject myself to that. I can watch it at home as it was intended to be seen, at least for a good 25 years or 20 years. Anyway, I thought it was great news, and
super cool news,
more to come.
More to come. Yeah, but
so
like I said,
keep your eyes on 2027, the 50th anniversary. Do you have that's very tangentially props, but I feel like every time there's a new release, it's new screen matches. So always good for props. And apparently this is a 6K. They're doing like a 6K scan. So obviously it'll be released in 4K, but the underlying data will be that much higher than the apparently very old. I didn't realize this recent 4K release is based on very old scans from just before Lucas was acquired by Disney. So it's well out of date, especially for such probably the best-selling thing on home video of all time. So that was surprising to me. But this brand new thing, and apparently they've gone back to like original effects elements. So they've stripped down the effects elements to the different layers of the ship and the space, the space field and things like that to get all those things right. And there's also evidence of a big audio revisit remaster, which is great. And then hopefully we have the different tracks so you can listen to it in stereo as released in the theater.
I hope we have all of
Atmos
that,
track
and that the tracks are the original tracks, and that there's none of that weird extra stuff that they added and different music or anything that they changed. Years ago, when I was up there working with Brandon Allinger and Wade LaJost on the Macquarie book, we met some guy that was working up there, and he was cataloging all sorts of just pieces of film. Basically, it was like, I don't know if it was exactly underneath the archives or another part of the archive. I don't know quite how to describe where it was, but they were, I mean, this is years ago, and they were clearly, they have all of this film basically. So maybe that was, for all I know, that was the beginning of it, but he was cataloging stuff. And it was, at the time it was like, well, at least we know they have it. So anyway,
yeah, I mean, that's the great thing. And all these years of them, it doesn't exist anymore, and it was destroyed, and all this, just again, nonsense that they forced us to swallow to whatever.
Yeah.
But it's about time. So at least, I mean, look, it's the most positive thing that Disney could do at this point for the franchise. So huzzah to them if that is indeed the plan.
I hope so. I guess I'm not going to hold my breath. I'll wait and see. Okay. I don't know. Somehow they always make it somehow like one step forward and two back. So we'll see. Yeah.
You'll have to watch it through Burger King glasses.
Ye of little faith is me. I am of little faith. Yeah. Sorry. I don't mean to cast aspersions.
No, I totally get it. Yeah. Fool me once, fool me
yes, exactly,
7 times, right? Yeah. All that. Do you have a what's new in props? Are you just delaying?
I really no. Just let's talk more about the Star Wars. Truly a glorious week of no props. No good answer. I did. This is going back from months ago, but do you remember that Godfather clapper? Was it Godfather 2 clapper?
Yeah.
That finally showed up. I had
been lovely.
I had a whole bunch of stuff that I was dealing with Heritage, and they finally sent everything at once, and that finally showed up. So I'm very pleased with that, and get a little display for it made, but that at least is in hand. Maybe I'll do well, I guess I already unboxed it. I was about to say maybe I should have shot an unboxing.
You should do an unveiling video of it. Yeah.
I guess it's still wrapped in bubble wrap, so maybe I can
archival bubble wrap.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my favorite. By the way, you never sent me a photo of your lightsaber stand.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I will. I actually am going over to the condo, I think, tonight to meet up with our friend Kelvin, and I will take some pictures. I do apologize about that.
Right. Yeah, I texted him today. He never texted me back.
He was traveling. He was up in San Francisco for some crazy whiskey thing of some sort, as you can imagine. But anyway. Let us get to this catalog, because it is a big and mighty catalog, and we should dive in because I think that's what the sponsors are paying for, Juliens. If you haven't listened, please listen to our other episode where we spoke with Lisa Henson, the CEO, and Karen Falk, the chief archivist of the Henson Company, and that was really fun and great. And this is some catalog, as they say, 70 years of the Henson Company. And one of the things that they talked about in that interview was there's definitely stuff at lots of price points. They were definitely thinking about the fans. So there are things as simple as posters and paper goods and maybe even rare magazines and whatnot, which are not particularly expensive. And then obviously there are full-size sort of, puppets and whatnot, Muppets, I should say. And then the other thing that's kind of going on in here.
But it's interesting. We didn't raise that in our interview with Karen and Lisa, but all the Fraggles, not to spoil anything, but the Fraggles are listed as puppets. So then I was wondering, are Muppets only Muppets? Like you have to be like in Kermit's gang to be a Muppet? Is that a capital M Muppet? Because I thought Muppet was the sort of, it's half puppet, it's half marionette.
Right, it's all like a designation, but maybe I guess are they using the word puppet as some sort of a noun, or is it incorrect? I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know.
Labeled, they're all. I looked because I was confused at first.
No, I'm looking at one of the Fraggles, and it says this puppet comes posed with armatures and mounted, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah,
but they're all labeled that way. I did not see anything in there that was labeled as a Muppet.
Interesting. I guess I had not really thought about it. That's
would have been
fascinating.
A good question to ask. Yeah.
I can find out. I can email her. We'll get to find out a little separate answer. The only other thing I was going to say, which I don't know if people haven't looked at the catalog, which is sort of interesting, is it is a catalog of basically 70 years of Henson. And then kind of in the middle, you have their latest version of the Dark Crystal, which was Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. You basically have a Dark Crystal Age of Resistance almost entire
mega sale.
Production auction of everything from that entire thing.
Yeah.
Within the sort of dead center, if you will, of this catalog, which is just sort of an interesting way of doing it. It probably both things are helped. I mean, it makes it a bigger auction overall, but probably gets a lot more eyes on the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance stuff because it's kind of in the middle of this overall Henson thing, which is, I don't know, just an interesting strategy, you know, just from a business perspective, I guess. So that's kind of almost like dead in the middle. And I called out a couple of things from it, but obviously it's the entire production. So, you know, you could kind of get lost just in that section alone. And then I'm not going to lie, there are later things that I just don't know as well. One of my pals is a huge fan of the Christmas toy, and I had to admit I'd never actually seen it. So that's on my list to. That's a Henson thing I've never watched. I'm going to watch. Yeah. So sort of learning something as well. But let's dive into the catalog.
Let's do
it. Just a reminder. Basically, it is, as we said, the Jim Henson Company 70 years anniversary auction, November 25th in Los Angeles, California. The public exhibition and auction are at 1416 North La Brea Avenue, Hollywood, California, 90028. Tuesday, November 25th. That's Thanksgiving week at 10 a.m. And you go to juliensauctions.com to get yourself to check out the auction. And you know, kind of play along with the catalog as we go.
Is that near is that right near the Grove? I'm trying to picture this space.
You know, I was trying to figure out where it was because
Grove
obviously
Writers Guild something.
I'm sort of above I'm above North La Brea, but here, let's look on a map. This is so exciting for the people listening and watching, is just people looking up
I'll look
address.
up what is a Muppet.
Let's see, 1416 North La Brea. Oh, you know what? I knew this. I'm an idiot. This is actually at the Henson Studios. They are leaving it, but I guess it's an opportunity if you want. I think Lisa did mention this, or Karen mentioned this. This is an opportunity, you know, on La Brea, just south of Sunset, with the Kermit. It's the old Charlie Chaplin Studios. It's where they did We Are the World and whatnot. I would honestly tell you it would be worth attending the auction just to get a chance to see the space before they leave it. They're moving to new offices, but pretty damn cool to see that space.
That is insanely cool. Yeah. That's why I asked the question.
Well, look at you. I had no idea. I should have known that answer, but very cool. But let's dive in, and we'll just kind of go in order. We both picked a bunch of things, and we'll kind of see where we ended up.
This is a few of our favorite things. One of those versions of the catalog page turn. I stopped on lot 1. We talked about this on the show. I thought this was cool.
I think it's really cool. I'd be curious to see sort of the various style guide stuff in there. But I'm going to say something very sacrilegious. Again, I'm not sure I want to spend a lot more than the estimate. You know, $500 to $700 is not quote unquote cheap, although it's low end in the grand scheme of the prop world. But how cool would it be to basically win it and then use that binder like for your own thing, to have a Muppet Show style book binder from 1979, like for like your own script or something. I that's what I love about it. So I know that seems like a crazy expenditure, but I think it would just be super cool to have that binder sitting like on your bookshelf with stuff in it. So I just thought it was really, really neat. So that was it for me. And then I jumped to lot 9 and 12. I don't know where you are next.
Oh yeah, I stopped at lot 3. I just thought this was great because it's Statler and Waldorf's grandfather clock from the Sex and Violence pilot episode of the Muppet Show. It's from the pilot episode. It's Statler and Waldorf, my two favorite characters from the Muppets. I thought it was great.
Yeah, you know, it is really, really neat. I mean, one of the things, you know, people definitely have talked about this there aren't any actual, Muppet Show Muppets in this catalog.
Right.
But there are a bunch of props and costumes and pieces. And I think a lot of it is really cool. So I guess I have my eye on some of that stuff because it's there, and you can't bitch about what's not there. You know what I mean? It isn't there.
Exactly.
I loved Lot 9 because it's just a bunch of Jim Henson business cards that I just thought are really cool. They're really graphically pretty, but also that's sort of the piece of Jim. And then there are, and I know we did talk about this with Lisa, there are a whole bunch of Jim outfits and shirts and whatnot. And Lot 12, I just love the way Lot 12 looked. It's a photo
so
match,
him, right?
vintage purple floral one. There are pictures of him working Kermit wearing this. There are other outfits later on and shirts with matching ties.
Lot 271, 272, 273, 275, if you want a page ahead too.
Just really, really gorgeous. And I've marked a lot of the shirts and the Jim personal effects. And I guess I'm talking for me at the moment. If I came out of this auction with one Jim Henson item, I'd be really happy. Just like something of his, I would call it a win across the board.
I flagged something later that I think is maybe the one for you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I just thought I just thought it was really cool. And then the first section that I had to stop on, and it's a funny thing. I was a little too old for Fraggle Rock in the sense of I didn't watch it, in the same way I watched Sesame Street or the Muppets. But the Fraggle pieces in this auction to me are the closest in many, many ways to, obviously an original Henson Company Muppet. I love that they're, created by the Creature Shop. I think we talked about this on the show. The Fraggle Rock show was designed by Michael Frith, who was a Lampoon guy who I'm lucky enough to know and is just such a talented, just genius artist and writer and whatnot. He's also the author of, did we talk about this? Do you know the book, I'll Teach My Dog 100 Words? Did you ever read that to your kids? Oh my God. They're probably too old now. It comes sort of out of that early sort of Dr. Seuss period, and Michael wrote it. It's just wonderful. But I love the way these Fraggles look. I lean towards the creature Fraggles. So I marked number 19. I marked Rumple Fraggle, and it's a healthy estimate, 30 to 50K. But this is a full figure, again, Muppet, puppet, Fraggle. Yeah. I mean, it is the full on. And again, as someone, and this is not me going, he's my favorite. I'm just going, how incredible would it be to have one of these? I don't know what else to say.
I grew up on Fraggle Rock, and I can still sing the theme song.
Yes.
And no, not doing it. But
I think you just teed yourself up.
Down to Fraggle Rock. Down to Fraggle Rock. But it's the doozer. I mean, Lot 16.
No, I remember you. I know everyone keeps talking about the doozer, and it's so funny. I think it's a gorgeous.
They would build the little like construction Legos of like the clear pasta and then just eat them.
It's so a gorgeous design. I don't know the character, but everybody I've talked to of a certain age is like, doozer.
Built them, and then the Fraggles would eat them. I think that was the ecosystem that went on there. But this one is just great. I just love his little boots and his like bullhorn. But these are all great, and these Gillis and Morris Fraggle and Aunt Granny. I mean, these are all and Traveling Matt, which we kind of skipped over.
Again, I'm not. Right. These are the key characters. These are, forgive me, Fraggle fans. These are the Kermit and Miss Piggy of Fraggle. Yeah. These are the key characters. So I just thought the opportunity, I mean, I hate to talk about opportunity, but I'm not sure this is going to come around again. I mean, obviously it'll be curious as the years go by, as sort of this Henson stuff gets bought and then repopulated into other auctions down the line. but this is a fucking opportunity. I don't know. I thought the Fraggles were gorgeous, and I gotta say, I loved, and again, I'm just talking from a pure creature design, jumped a lot, like from like 26 forward. I loved 27, the trunk cave,
all
those
the
elephant
background
guys.
creatures,
Yes, all those creatures, and we talked
squash
about
bird.
the squash bird
love
is fabulous.
I
The
love
squash bird, yeah.
Early proto Angry Bird, I think. You have to
Yes, a
wonder
little
if
bit,
there's
a little
little
bit.
DNA
Yes,
in
if they
there.
ever saw that.
Yeah.
But just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I just loved every one of these sort of creaturey, backgroundy guys. They're so Henson. They're so creature shop. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And again, Fraggle Rock. I don't want to say it's not something I'm sure I saw an episode back in the day, but I don't have the nostalgia. I have Henson nostalgia, and it just I don't know, just gorgeous to me.
And that's what I think is so great about this catalog is it's so much about, and that's why the shirts and the business cards and things are so great, is because it's about him. I mean, this is all kind of from his brain, and no, there's not a Kermit in here. But I think there's so much stuff that goes and speaks to him as a creator, and I think the fact that it's coming right from the source is what makes it really desirable to collectors. And even this detail where the Henson shop not only gave these things up, but then displayed them and built these stands with the little kind of emblazoned sort of stamp or insignia that's on each one of these little the Fraggle / all the Muppet characters.
There's a wonderful sense
across the auction.
We rarely get to see this, by the way, with any even most studio auctions don't have this. There's a real sense that like the display pieces, the stands, are like if they were doing a Fraggle exhibit, this is how they would display them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That this is how they themselves want these to be displayed, which is a really wonderful thing when you think about a studio auction. So I think there's an extra touch there that is I don't know, it's hard to put a price tag on in a really great way. So I'm just blown away. I think a lot of these things are gonna I think we're gonna I think these are where I think these are gonna be some of the bigger priced pieces.
Of course.
But I am gonna be watching this area because boy, if you could get out of here with something, God, that would be so cool. Anyway, I don't know what else to say.
Very cool, yeah. The next one that after Fraggle Land, the next thing I jumped to is lot 44. I don't know what you had next.
I skipped it because I knew you were going to pick it, but I heartily agree. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again, just people coming in here looking for something from the Muppets, either the Muppet Show or the beloved Muppet movie from 1979. Well, here's a set of film canisters from the Muppet movie. It's lot 44. Estimate is $300 to $500. Very reasonable starting. It's unlikely going to stop in that range. But these I
believe that is going to possibly be the worst, the worst estimate to what it's going to go for, because I do think these are. I mean, you ever go to these like fancy like furniture stores, and they'll just have like an old sewing machine that they'll sell you for like $4,000 that you put like on an end table. I mean, just how amazing would these just look like on a credenza in your living room?
Yeah, like, with the little Kermit silhouette on the one, and the other one has Muppet
Movie and Muppet Movie written on it. I mean, they look good from every angle. I mean, these are just incredible, like found item decorative pieces just for your house. Like forget about prop auction. You know what I mean? Like these are really. I'm blown away by 44. Yeah, I am 1,000% with you. I love these, and I love the way they look. Honestly, they look just really cool. Yeah, really excellent. I called out lot 48, which are Great Muppet Caper, Miss Piggy shoes. Later on in the auction, I believe there is a Miss Piggy glove, and I think a Miss Piggy glove is sort of like the C-3PO hand. It's the thing they used to give away to like fanzine auctions and whatnot, because I've seen those over the years, but I've never seen a pair of her purple shoes like this. I mean, obviously that color lilac is so Miss Piggy, and obviously not every one of the puppets always has legs and feet, which makes it a little bit special. This is from the Couldn't We Ride Bicycle scene in The Great Muppet Caper. I just, again, a little piece of Miss Piggy, but also a piece I haven't seen before. I just thought this was pretty incredible. So I thought the shoes were kind of really just wonderful in a world where I've just not seen them before. So I thought that was,
they're great.
Really, really neat. Yeah.
I also love the Great Muppet Caper. Pip, the next lot, not lot 49. I know this is just a promotional piece, but it's the key piece from the movie.
But a pretty original promotional piece. Like certainly not a promotional piece I remember seeing in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. No. So the opportunity to get like well, I don't know what to call it, not a fake, but a promotional diamond, if you will.
Yeah. Yes. At the time made like the one in the movie. So this is the baseball diamond from the Great Muppet Caper. And it's funny because this when I was a kid, this was my favorite of the Muppet movies. This is the one I watched again and again and again. I just liked the sort of heist kind of Die Hard Indiana Jones element to it. And it's the reason that through the rest of my life, I could never see Charles Grodin as anything other than a despicable bad guy because of his turn as the heel in the Great Muppet Caper. But I just love this. I mean, it's the key. It's the MacGuffin. It's the key prop from the film done as a promotional.
It
piece
is literally this. It is the Maltese Falcon. It's the stuff dreams are made of the Muppet world. My next thing, I'm going to call out two pieces just because they're sort of similar. The one that I was going to first call out was Lot 55, which is a signed Jim Henson playbill from Manhattan Melodies, which is the musical within Muppet Takes Manhattan. And I just think so it's a kind of a prop, but then it is signed by Jim. But I also wanted to call out, and that's the one I like, but I did also want to call out Lot 53 because it's a Muppet Takes Manhattan poster signed by Henson, Frank Oz, and Dave Lazar. And so the opportunity to get something signed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz and Dave Lazar like that, I mean, come on, man. I mean, just really incredible. And obviously the source as well, which is you are getting them from the Henson Company, from the Henson family. Yep. So, just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I thought that was really cool. Especially, like I said, I love that playbill in particular.
Yes.
Just really, really, really neat. I loved seeing the Muppet Babies animation. I used to watch Muppet Babies. I don't know if that was always very fun. That was a real favorite of my sister's, of all things. She was a fan of that. So I don't know if she'll be buying anything, but my sister liked that stuff. My next thing, and I kind of love, everything is sort of done by film, whatever, but this is not something I had seen before. Lot 74. This is what
I also called this out. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go for it, please.
No, it's the pitch booklet for the Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
But with it looks like all done. I mean, I don't know if this is hand drawn. It looks like it was a limited edition, so there's a couple of them, but it's all hand drawn art by Brian Froud. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like there's Brian Froud stuff. There's also, I think, Frith stuff in there as well. This thing got reprinted inside one of the Dark Crystal books, I believe. I think there's versions of it, but this is one of the period ones. This, I guess, this was the pitch booklet. Maybe they would leave this behind. I don't know, when they pitched, whatever. It just seemed like a really interesting piece of the Dark Crystal story, or should we call it the Crystal? Because back then it was still just the Crystal. Yeah. Which I just thought was really, really neat. Yeah.
Do you think at some point they left one of the pages and then Justin Timberlake just popped out and just said, "Dark Crystal"?
Just dark. It's simpler. It's better, or whatever he says. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that. I had no idea, by the way, Lot 82 and 83, that there was a Dark Crystal Collection clothing line. That
skipped me, but I did enjoy that this existed.
From Henri Bendel's department store in New York City. I did not know this existed.
It's just wild. I mean, back in that day, now you'd expect it, but back in that day, I mean, what a wild thing to do, right?
Yeah. Just a fabulous cross promotion. And then more or less as you get to about Lot 89, this is not exactly it, basically the prop stuff from the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance begins.
Yeah.
And so, look, I'm sure there are people going, oh, too bad it's not from the original Dark Crystal. Okay, maybe so, but I'm not sure that stuff is out there. So I don't know. For me, to have a full-size actual crystal from the Dark Crystal, even if it's from the Age of Resistance, I thought that was pretty incredible.
Pretty neat, yeah.
There's stuff at all different price points in here. I loved the animatronic Skeksis heads. There's a couple of them. I thought 96 because I like the hat it was wearing.
Yeah. Too. Okay.
Yeah, I just like the hat it was wearing.
Hat. Solid hat.
I just thought
hair braid. Is that a hat? Or,
maybe a hair braid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's just something opportunity. The full size Skeksis animatronic heads, and then the full size. There's some hands as well, and then there's full size Gelfling puppets. Yeah. I mean, these are full Henson. Yeah, these are full Henson Company, creature shop made things, and then on the other price point side, there's just all these wonderful Skeksis and Gelfling like props, swords, and I loved 148, the 4-prong magnifying glass. So there's stuff at all different price points, which again, I just think there's, I don't know,
more Gelflings, 127, 28, 29.
Grab just a great piece, and I don't know what to say. Stick it on your shelf. I love this. There's these full-size Gelfling full-body puppets are just, I mean, wild to be able to have one of these, and various costumes as well. I don't know. This is, I think it's pretty incredible. And then I love, starting around 135, the creatures. Again, we're talking about these little sort of side, again, forgive me, background creatures. The 3-eyed Crutter puppet, the Cydetic in a cage. I love the cage.
I love the cage. 153, the Bublup puppet in the cage, the sad little guy here.
So great, the sad little guy there. Yep, with the cage. Yep. There's something about those Henson cages that are just fabulous. Yeah. And like I said, just more Gelfling puppets and Gelfling outfits.
57, 58, 59. Oh, that's a costume. 56, 57, and 58. 156, 157, 158 are all full-size Gelflings in these gorgeous costumes. Again, presented on these Henson Company stands, so that it's good to go. You take it out of the box, you just put it up on your shelf.
And, on something
really
like,
incredible.
I'm just staring at lot 161 is Dodran of the Order of Lesser Service. It's a puppet. The estimate's 15 to 25K. So I'm assuming, I guess, probably the 15 is sort of probably somewhere around the starting bid. I'm not even sure where they're starting. But I mean, that is not, to get an actual creature shop, I don't know, Dark Crystal piece. Again, I know it's Age of Resistance, but pretty fucking cool. Where are you getting a Henson puppet? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, it's very much on my mind. I would like to come out of here with something. I don't know what else to say. Just be really special, I think, to have something. It's just a level of, in our age of CG and our oncoming age of AI. By the way, more creatures like around 197, 198. I love the hero thrush pog, sort of snail-like puppet. Yeah. I mean, just the craftsmanship, the just so gorgeous, just beautiful. I don't know. I'm really
bong. There's
stunned.
A Dark Crystal bong, lot 205.
Finally, Dark Crystal Bomb. Again, I love more of these creatures. I love the Flingit puppet, 223, and the imprisoned woodland creature smiling at you, 224.
With his platypus flippers. Yes, he's very, very adorable.
I think there's a strategy to be had in here. I think you got to mark a lot of things. I think you got to be paying attention because I think there's going to be, again, chances. The Skeksis cutlery, lot 233. We have seen original ones from the original Dark Crystal. These are the same. Again, I don't know if you have to have from the original, so be it. But this is an opportunity to have something at, I think, an easier price point. My other favorite that I did want to call out, and maybe I don't know if there's anything else from Dark Crystal for you, 245, the Skeksis banquet eyeballs and platter props.
All the banquet props really delight me.
Yeah, the Skeksis food, so disgusting in a wonderful, wonderful way. Just blown away. Just an incredible section worth, I don't know what else to say, just worth checking out. So,
there are
really
bad guys that eat delicious food.
I know.
Or you're like, oh, I don't like the Romulans, but I sure would like to eat with them. Something.
When Jeff, Alec, and I worked many, many years ago on a version of Curious George, when they were going to try and do Curious George, I believe they were going to try and do him as like 3D animation, and everything else was going to be live action. And at some point, it just cost too much money at the time, and it ended up just becoming an animated movie, I think, eventually. But when we were working on it, our bad guy was basically a guy that wanted to eat George. Curious George was one of a kind, and he just was like sort of he liked eating crazy and disgusting things, and he wanted to eat George. That was his dream, and and they went with it for a long while, but obviously never made. But
yes,
anyway,
and then a horrific virus is unleashed upon humanity.
But so. No one ever got to see that version, but anyway,
no,
yeah.
I'm very sad about that now. Wasn't that a Grandpa Simpson line at some point where like he just says, "Ooh, I can't wait to go home and eat that monkey"? Isn't that?
I don't remember. If it's not, it should be. If it's not, it should be.
I think it is. I think there's some kind of monkey giveaway in The Simpsons. I don't know. Grandpa misunderstands, but I think we should look this up. So if I was going to buy you something from this auction, Mr. Mandel, I would pick lot 257 and or 258, because I just think these were things I was thinking of for you, just because I knew you would want to take something home from here, and this just feels like it sort of kind of orbits everything.
Yes, there was something very nice. Yeah, they're both original pieces of art. One is by the Marvel gang as a sort of a congratulations, Jim, and one is from George Lucas. And the George Lucas one has a cool story about, I guess, Darth Vader hand delivered it with a personal note. That says, "Dear Jim, may the force be with you. Don't turn your back on a goblin." And I do agree. They're pretty. I had marked both of them for myself. I thought they were both really, really cool.
I think either or kind of fits into your. It's Jim. It's the Muppets. It's 100% the things that you love. It's original
Jim,
art,
and yet it's from this, and it's connected to Marvel. Yeah, very, very cool. And frame up really nicely, which is really, really, really neat. I marked lot 261 just because there's not a lot from the movie Labyrinth. There's a couple of things, I guess, more than I would have thought, but I thought this was particularly nice because it's a goblin helmet. So I just love the way it looked. Yeah, the actual sort of prop helmet. I thought that was just really neat. A movie that I do like. So
I marked 267 for the same reason. This reminded me of those really cool, like from the later Star Wars movies, where they would have nothing this elaborate, but they would mark the sort of department, the art department or whatever. There would be a sign. Yes. These things have made it their way into auction. So this is the wall sculpture from the UK Creature Shop for Labyrinth, and it looks kind of like one of those like reliefs that you would find, sort of over an ornate doorway in an old castle or Gothic building. Yes, a castle
or a medieval temple of some sort or whatever. Yeah.
And
really cool.
It's Ludo, Hoggle, and Sir Didymus.
And by the way, would look really cool just over a door. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like would just like it's almost, they're not props. It's like home decoration in this auction in a great way, which is just kind of funny. Yeah. Really very, very cool. Just stopping again, I know we mentioned them earlier, but just if you're turning your pages, 273 and 275, these gorgeous sort of Jim shirts with matching ties is so him. Really, really cool to see. I thought it was really just, again, fun.
Yeah, and on the previous page as well, 271 and 272, it's just a little run of these very distinct Henson shirts. The 271 and 272 look like they're both photo matched.
Yep.
The shirts, and then the tie I guess in 273 is photo matched. But I just really cool. I just love it.
Did you know? I don't know Dog City either.
I don't know Dog City.
This is one I didn't know, but it is amazing to see these.
Investigate it.
But again, full body puppets. So again, if this is your opportunity, if you're a Dog City fan, and then we hit sort of the Christmas toy lot 287,
Yeah.
the Eggy
Oh,
puppet.
I love lot 280. I was going to call it the witches. I mean, it is what it is, but it's an oversized butter knife prop from.
I guess I did laugh at that. I guess I was hoping for more from the witches. I do love that movie.
I was definitely hoping for more because I love that movie. That movie scarred the shit out of me as a kid, and I've been really hesitant because I'd love to show my kids because I think it's a really good movie.
You gotta wait just a touch longer.
I'm like, I'm gonna break them if they see the witch transformation in that. I'm talking about trying to eat something. My goodness, it's a dark film. But I just love this because it's an oversized.
Give them a couple of more years, like when they're like 13, maybe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I love that this is an oversized knife, and it speaks to the scale between like the mouse world and the human world, and really, did enjoy that. Yes, and then we get into the Christmas toy, which is lot 285 on, and I just don't. I love these things, and I love
this Eggy puppet. I don't know anything about it. I love the way the motorcycle gang member number 3 radio controlled puppet looks. I love the design of all this stuff. I'm gonna have to find this on YouTube and watch it.
I wonder if it's on Disney Plus. Do you think so?
Oh, interesting. I bet it is. Or
because it's an ABC property, so you would think, I guess, between Henson and the ABC connection. Anyway, worth checking out.
But what I did see in the theater, and what I do watch every year, is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Good Lord, yes, please.
I think it's one of the all-time great versions of Christmas Carol. I think Michael Caine is incredible. The Muppets are hilarious. I love every part of this thing. I love these. I love these busts. The Aristotle, the Dante. Again, talk about things that you could just have like on display, like in your living room. I love those. I also love the eviction notices, lot 292, the Scrooge and Marley eviction notices. I just
love the rubber chickens.
Yes, the rubber chickens are very fun. They definitely ID'd a couple of them as at the Foswig Christmas party. The Swedish chef is seen holding 2 rubber chickens in his hand during the sequence, so that's pretty hilarious.
In his weird human hands.
Yeah.
Yes. I love those, and I love the Foswig and Mom.
I thought that was very cool. It's from, I guess, a store display at Tiffany's in New York City, I guess, which is very neat. I guess I preferred the things from the movies ever so slightly. Yeah. But hey, Dr. Teeth's harpsichord.
yeah, that's very good. His old-timey piano.
Yes.
from the Oakers. Yeah. But I love these busts, lot 296 through 299. I think those to me, this hit my sort of like, that's what I want in this auction. Because I also love it. As an adult, this has become, I loved the Caper, the Great Muppet Caper as a kid, but this has become, we watch it with the family every year. Last year we actually went to a live rendition of it where they play along with the live orchestra.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love that.
And they did all this swag with it here in London, so you could, the kids have Muppet Christmas Carol beanies for
fantastic.
For the winter season. It was really, really great. At the Eventim Apollo down in Knightsbridge. They might be doing it again this year. It seems like something they do every year, but get tickets now because they especially the weekend shows, they run through them pretty quickly.
These things, they're in the background of his old schoolhouse. You see them in the movie. They're so Muppety, and yet they're supposed to also be these sort of, famous sort of, thinkers of our history.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way they look.
Who would you take?
It's interesting. I think I leaned ever so slightly to either Aristotle or Dante of the two. But I guess I think I'd be pretty happy. I think I honestly liked Aristotle just because he has big eyes and big nose and kind of Muppet hair.
He's so Muppety.
Yeah, but I mean, you the same could be said of Moliere as well. So I don't know. Yeah, I just thought they were really, really cool, and again, a decent price point as well. Treasure Island is another one. Maybe I don't watch quite as much, but I get, Tim Curry kind of, again, the casting of the humans in Michael Caine and then Tim Curry. So, spot on perfect. And I thought lot 307, the master, the treasure map.
The hero map. I mean, that is going to be a big, big deal. For somebody. This was a little after my Muppet time, so I've seen the film and I really do like it. I think this is the Muppet movie stuff. I think this is the best prop in the auction.
I think it's probably the best prop, but I am not going to lie. I am very partial as well to lot 310, the Tiki Pig from
Of course.
come on, Tiki Pig
If
from
it was a
Muppet Treasure
tiki
Island.
gorilla, I might have seen this coming. But yes, I
But pigs in space, Tiki Pig, pretty wonderful. Not small, 60,
No,
60,
that's good.
60 inches.
That's a proper.
Not
sort
not
of.
small, but yeah.
Hey, honey, I'm moving the polar bear out. We got something new coming in.
Pretty wonderful though. I do love the look of it. So I thought it was pretty wonderful.
It is good.
And I did think lot 312. If somebody wants to buy all of the doubloon coins and then just like everybody gets one, apparently there's 81 of them. So
That's good.
if 81 of us could split that lot, that would be very very fun.
I wonder
just
if
to
there's
have
like a
something,
Muppet face on there. If you get a little.
Yeah, I know.
closer.
It's like you want to sort of see what's on the coins. They look like, from this side, they just kind of look like very sort of doubloony things. But it would just be fun to have a little piece of something, I guess. I don't know. So yeah,
I will extend this offer. If you do win a Muppet doubloon, the lot, I have Targaryen doubloons that I would happily trade.
Tradesies. That's excellent.
For I will even go better. I will do 5 Targaryen doubloons for 1 Muppet doubloon. So how about that?
Wait a second. This is why Targaryens are going to have trouble paying their debts if you're doing that.
No, because you see, when they run out of money, they just burn everybody with dragons, Dave. That's how.
That's the key?
Yeah.
Good to know.
First they shut down all the airports and cancel the food, but then they burn everybody.
Good to know. What else hit you? I will admit, I don't have a lot left in the back end of this auction.
I had one left at the end. There's some wonderful, perfectly Henson Company stuff here. I just this Wubbulous World of Dr.
Yes,
Seuss.
again,
the
something I
snoozer.
never saw, but I thought all these,
This
especially
enormous
the
snoozer
the
puppet.
snoozer, and then the caterpillars, again, the little creatures, I thought were wonderful. The snake,
The bucket of them, the bucket of worms. Yeah.
Yep. And there's something, they're very Henson, but
352.
there's some Seuss to it in a really fun way as
Yeah.
well. So it's an interesting combination. It's just nothing I ever,
I'm
watched.
not as familiar with it,
Exactly, yeah.
But-
I also,
I did love the lot 375 here, the Fozzie Bear jester at the court of Henry VIII.
I did love that as well. I think,
It's incredible from the sexy Muppet calendar that they did apparently in 1984. I just the Kermitage collection, just perfect.
How would you feel? Let me ask you this. How would you feel if you won that? Because I honestly marked this as well. I thought this was incredible. I remember this. I think my sister had this calendar, but I remember I always loved Fozzie Bear for all the comedy reasons, as they say. And I just thought this was incredible. Do you make a replica, maybe not a puppet, maybe a hard shell, if you will, like Fozzie replica?
I think you have
to.
to. Yeah. You just tell people look, it's Fozzie's not original, but the costume is.
The costume
and
is,
you
yes,
just
exactly.
present it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not in a singular display case in the middle of the room,
No, you're not. You're not selling it like the Fozzie part is real.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't bother with the hands. You know what I mean? You just do the head,
just to give it.
So
just to
give it a little
form,
life. Yes, exactly.
But I think it's totally fine to do. Yeah.
I do think it's wonderful.
Ideally, you get an image from the calendar and display it next to it. You get like that page of the calendar and either scan it and print it, or just get a I don't know how rare this calendar is, but you just cut that page out of the calendar and make a nice frame for it. I think there's a nice way to do that doesn't oversell what it is, but the costume is just so fantastic.
Yeah, it's just really, really wonderful. There's a lot 379. There's another Miss Piggy, I guess, glove. This one is from the Art of Muppets exhibit. So that was from an exhibit. So that's kind of cool, though, and a bunch of other Miss Piggy props. There's a bunch of interesting. I thought some of the Muppet Tonight crates were interesting.
Yeah,
like
those are fun.
393 again. I watched that show. There's some other nice props, but for me, and I am jumping to the end, and I hope that's okay. The thing that I really did love at the back end of this auction is there's some original Carol Carol Spiney, who was Big Bird, art, which I did not realize. I knew he worked in the Creature Shop and that he was obviously a Muppeteer as well as doing Big Bird, but I had not realized he was such an artist. And the opportunity, there's both full color paintings and then some simpler color pieces, various Big Bird and of Oscar, who I guess he also did. I just think these are wonderful, and the opportunity to get one. I mean, I've 430, which is Big Bird in the tub or something with singing fish, or I guess a lake with singing fish. These are beautiful. The starting bids are really low, $1,000 or whatever. These are incredible. And again, to have something of Carol Spiney's, I just think this is an incredible. I just, boy, frame one of these and you're done, and it, just beautiful, and a little piece of Big Bird, literally and figuratively. So yeah.
Yeah, I love 434 with Oscar's trash can being stolen by all the rats.
Yep, just fabulous. He sort of seems so very upset. You thieving rats.
Grouchy.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Really, really incredible.
This is a very special sale. I just think that, totally 70 years in the making. This is a thing that if you're around long enough as a collector, somebody will ask you like, "Hey, is there any Muppet stuff out there?" And you just say, "No, not really." There's some little exceptions and things like that, but this is for the Henson Company to put this on. And do it in an official capacity and put this much love into the catalog, and I don't know how many people have it out there. They were nice enough to send us a catalog. It's this wonderful hardbacked thing that when it arrived in our house, it's so well put together. My wife actually said to me, "Did you buy another Muppet book?" And I said, No. This was sent for free. It's an auction catalog." And then she was even more horrified because she realized it was an auction. So no, it's just beautifully rendered and really, really well put together. It's a shelf worthy piece on its own. They've lavished a lot of love on this, and I think there's just so much pent up demand that had nowhere to go. I think this auction is going to be quite the event.
But everything about it, I mean, the choice, the pieces, the displays, the fact that they are, as we said earlier, that we discovered that they're doing it at the Henson lot. I mean, that's pretty amazing. There's going to be sort of a little exhibition and the auction itself. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, just a real... just worth going. I'll probably pop in if for no other reason, just to take a quick peek or something, maybe if I'm bidding on something. But just really, really incredible. Bravo. I know we said that before, but just really bravo. Yeah. Remember, juliensauctions.com, Tuesday, November 25th, 10 a.m. Pacific time here in Los Angeles, California. Really just incredible. I hope a bunch of our listeners get a chance to win something. Please, obviously, let us know.
Write us.
Really excited, and boy, I hope I get to grab a little something. I'm not looking to, I'm not going crazy, but I'd like to get something. So I hope that happens as well. Yeah.
If money bids, whatever, were not an object, what's the one thing that you would take home?
Boy. If no object, oof. I know it sounds crazy. I'd probably go for one of those full puppet Fraggles, just to have something from the like a key piece from the Henson Creature Shop. Even though I'm not a Fraggle guy, I still think they're so Muppety and wonderful. It would just be incredible. So I guess money no object. Yeah.
Yeah. Good answer.
You the same or kind of
Doozer?
Give
me the Doozer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the ones that are a little more Muppety, if that makes the hair and the eyes and whatnot. Yeah. Did you? I don't even know if they still do this. When my kids were little, there was a point where FAO Schwartz in New York City had a make your own Muppet kind of thing.
Oh,
really? Something that rings a bell? Yeah. No, it was like there were a whole bunch of choices, and I think you did it like on a computer. And there would, like, when it was first out, there were long, huge lines, and they had like 10 different hairs and 10 different noses. That's and great. A couple of different body shapes and whatnot. It was really incredible. And again, it wasn't obviously the Creature Shop, but you could make one that looked like yourself. You could make one that just looked funny. It was really incredible. It was a really neat thing. I'm sure there's still out there people that had them made. But yeah, really, really wonderful. So yeah, I remember that. I do love that look and design. So yeah, anyway. Pretty cool. We're going to keep our eye on it. Like I said, I may be there for a little bit as well, so say hi if you see me. This was fun. I don't know what else to say. This was a hell of a catalog. Yeah.
Good luck bidding, everybody.
Yep.
Good luck to Juliens.
Yep. Good luck, Juliens. Again, juliensauctions.com. And I'm going to be visiting, so I don't know when this airs, but go check out our YouTube channel. I'm going to go check out a bunch of the stuff coming up this week. But by the time by the time you're listening to this, the YouTube videos will be up already, so you'll be able to see those, and it'll be very fun. I can't wait to see the stuff in person. So check that out as well. And we'll talk soon, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.